This is EOL Berhane.
This is Chua Zhong. And this is Jay Her. This is our Stocktrak Investment Challenge for fall 2013.
For the Stocktrak project, we are given $100,000 in cash to invest in stocks with an additional $100,000 to use, giving us a total of $200,000 spending power. A minimum of 25 transactions are to be made in the buying and selling of stocks, with the maximum being 100 transactions. Our goal is to at least have a portfolio return of 0%, meaning we will not beat the market, but we wouldn't be doing worse. We started out with a conservative philosophy because we wanted to invest in only safe stocks. Halfway through the project, we decided to switch to the middle-of-the-road philosophy because we wanted to make more money, investing in both safe and risky stocks. Our strategy was to invest in stocks that we were familiar with to get the feel of the market. We planned to buy low and sell high, but that didn't work out too well using the conservative strategy. After we changed to using the middle-of-the-road strategy, we planned to invest in high-risk companies as well as safe ones. We also chose a diverse selection of stocks to invest in. Netflix was the first stock we bought. We bought 5 shares of Netflix because it seemed to have been doing well. This was our first purchase, so we didn't buy too many shares. We decided to sell Netflix in week 2 because its price finally came up after dropping the first weekend we owned it. We made $24.25 in profit. After selling Netflix, we bought Buffalo Wild Wings in week 2. We bought 5 shares of Buffalo Wild Wings at $111.46 because it is safe and its price has been going up. We wanted to buy it before the price went up even higher. We sold Buffalo Wild Wings after 2 weeks because we were barely making any money on it. Buffalo Wild Wings price was going down and we didn't want to lose any more money. We decided to sell Buffalo Wild Wings. We made a small profit of $15.60. We decided to buy 20 shares of DEC because the seasons are changing and the weather is getting cooler. The fall season was oddly warm though, so we didn't make anything on DEC. We decided to keep DEC and not sell it because we wanted to know what could happen. DEC finally starts going up in mid-November and we finally sold DEC at the end of the trading period. We made a profit of $335.20.
We decided to buy Groupon because of the upcoming holidays. We figured since the holidays are near that people would be booking holidays and family trips. Groupon was considered a safe bet for us, and so in week 2 we purchased 100 shares at $12.94. Unfortunately, Groupon wasn't doing well, so we decided to sell it before it goes any lower in week 9. We didn't make any profit and lost $231 from the stocks.
Activision Blizzard Incorporated is a video game company which we were familiar with and thought it would be a good company to invest in. We've decided to purchase 10 shares at $17.03 in week 2. We had the stock for almost a month and decided to sell it in week 5 because there was little to no activity change in the stock. We made a profit of $7.40. Regal Entertainment Corporation is a company we were familiar with and was a safe company to invest in. In week 2, we bought 20 shares at $19.11. This stock fluctuated from 18 to 19 in price in the weeks we had it. It wasn't doing much for us, so we decided to sell it in week 9 and lost $11. Apple was one company we were considering from the beginning. With this company, we knew that it could bring us down quickly if the stock dropped. We knew that the new iPhone 5S and 5C were coming out soon, so with that in mind, we bought 5 shares at $473.03 in week 2. We kept it until the very end and profit $259.80 from this stock. Tesla is another big company we invested in. This stock was highly recommended, and we've also kept track of this stock for a couple of weeks. In addition, Tesla had a low beta, and so we decided to buy 100 share at $181.40. Tesla was doing well after government shutdown, so we decided to keep it in hopes that it would continue to increase. Unfortunately, Tesla price went down. We kept it until the very end in hopes that it would go up. But with the decision made to keep it, we lost $4,595. Pepsi Coke Incorporated was a stock we purchased in week 9. It had a low PE value of 19.52 and a beta of 0.41. It was doing so well in our fund account that we decided to buy 100 shares at $83.74. We sold the stock at the end and profit $129.
Facebook is the biggest social networking website in the world. We bought Facebook during the last week of Stocktrak. We bought 100 shares of Facebook at $46.52 a share. We decided to buy Facebook mostly because it was something that we all used and that it was doing relatively well since it had become publicly traded. We didn't sell it till the end of Stocktrak and got a total return of $4,901. Twitter is another large social networking website. We also bought Twitter during the last week of Stocktrak. We bought 50 shares of Twitter at $42.09 a share. Twitter just recently started to become publicly traded in the stock market within the past month. We bought Twitter because we saw it go up within the first few days it was traded. We held the stock until the end of Stocktrak and got a total return of $2,199. Sears Holdings Corporation is one of the leading integrated retailers in North America. Sears was the third of four stocks that we bought during the last week of Stocktrak. We bought 100 shares of Sears at $61.27 a share. At first, Sears was not doing so well for us at the first few days, but eventually it did turn around. We got a total return of $6,439 from Sears. Walmart Stores Incorporated is the largest retailer in the world. Walmart was the final stock that we bought during the last week of Stocktrak. We bought 100 shares of Walmart at $78.55 a share. We decided to buy Walmart because it had such a low beta that we thought it would be a really safe bet. We sold Walmart at the end of the Stocktrak period and got a total return of $7,922. In the end of the day, we failed to reach our goal of breaking even during the Stocktrak period. We were doing all right until Tesla's downward spiral led to our inevitable downfall. We stuck with Tesla, banking on them to bounce back, but in the end, they instead dropped even further. Our final portfolio return was negative 3.5%, and our ending value was $96,947. The lessons we've learned from Stocktrak is that stocks are very difficult to predict in the end of the day. You must be sure to come in with as much research on stocks you're interested in as possible. If not, you might end up with a bad stock on your hands and money lost from it. Also, we must be sure to buy a stock when we feel it's at its lowest and sell it when we feel it's at its highest. Overall, this was a very educational and interesting experience, and we were glad that we were able to do this Stocktrak project.